Welcome back and thanks for watching the Channel 2 News this Wednesday evening. Governor Eloy Enos calls for stronger anti-drug laws for government employees. One lawmaker has been drafting legislation focused specifically on law enforcement. At the K-9 unit graduation, Governor Eloy Enos called upon the legislature to create a measure that would make routine drug testing mandatory, mainly for public servants.
For the legislature, I'd like for you to consider probably if there's not one on the books, that maybe we ought to sponsor a bill that would basically make drug presence within the workplace basically a zero tolerance situation. I think we need to do that.
Representative Guerrero is currently drafting a measure that would make drug testing law enforcement regularly mandatory.
Nowadays, with the epidemic of drugs and those, and yes, we see our law enforcement being arrested for using and probably assisting in the trafficking and all those. So those are all considerations with reference to this bill.
Under the current drug policy, all candidates for government employment are subjected to testing prior to hiring. They also may be required to take a drug test if a trained supervisor has reasonable and well-documented suspicion. 50% of employees performing safety-sensitive positions are also tested once a year. Guerrero says law enforcement should be tested regularly, not occasionally.
We're trying to make it a zero tolerance, meaning if you're positive, probably you're out. That's what the research now is working on.
As for making drug testing regular for lawmakers, Guerrero says this.
The reason why I'm holding off on the direct mandate for lawmakers, because lawmakers are similar with the governor's position. So we have a reservation on that now, but it doesn't mean that we cannot offer a bill for lawmakers to go through drug testings.
Currently, lawmakers can volunteer for a drug test.
If somebody was doing drugs, why would they want to volunteer?
Well, in the first place, if I'm as a lawmaker and I'm doing drugs, I don't belong as a lawmaker.
Guerrero says the bill should be pre-filed sometime next week.